That's it! We're done with World 1 and the first half of the speedrun. Entering the teleporter is a no turning back point, so you should be fine. If you forgot something, you cannot really reach this point anyway. But after Bars is done talking here, right here on the third dialogue box, you get a chance at a break. It's around the 50 seconds of automatic events, so you can go to the washroom, do what you need to do, and come back for World 2. So we'll start off trap in this island. You can walk around and battle enemies that always drop tents, but you might notice an internal timer on the bottom right corner. When that hits 0, you get a cutscene where the party's like, maybe we should take a rest. And this is to clue you into going into inventory and using a tent. This is the next sequence trigger. So this is why you wanted to save one from leaks at worst, so that you could start off this event. And you cannot walk around for the step manipulation and get a tent from the encounters, because that would kill the step route. But now Len and Faris get abducted, and Bars has a solo battle with an abductor. Here you want to wait him out to attack, and then hit yourself with a Mitrian knife and commit seppuku. This is one of 2 battles in the game where you can lose and the storyline progresses. It doesn't give you a game over. The other one is X-Dead at the Elder Tree, although you're not supposed to lose on that one, but we do something to force that scenario. If you win that battle, then Bars has to open a chest and he gets poison, or rather he faints from poison gas and then gets abducted anyway, so the story progresses the same. And you only miss on 1 AP if you don't kill the abductor, so it doesn't affect the AP management in the slightest. But now Galuf takes over, because he's actually competent unlike the others, and we can venture in Exodus Castle. First off, we need Galuf as a thief for a back attack protection and also for dash speed. He has to have the skill active so that it works, because he's the only person on party. From this door, if you go up from here, you can find a save point and a healing spring. You can interact with it to restore your health, but you shouldn't need to do that. And we can go further below to the basement where the party is being held prisoner. This is the floor where we got an encounter, and this is where you can tell if you did the step route correctly, which I did, thankfully. So you just flee from this guy, and it's guaranteed. And depending on how many tiles you are off, you may be able to correct it, but that is your cue for knowing if you did the step route right. And now Gilgamesh, on this next tile, and also on this next tile up here, you can trigger the battle with Gilgamesh. So what you want to do is switch Galuf to Samurai and optimize him for the stealth row. This gives him 1 more point of agility, and this guarantees that he will be faster than Gilgamesh, because this particular Gilgamesh has 25 agility, and this way we ensure that we don't see him attacking and wasting time. But a single Giltos, that's enough to make him go away, and the main party rejoins. Outside of a step route, you may want to set a thief on anybody until we reach a big bridge. And but on the step route, we don't get any encounters on the way out and on the overworld. Here, remember that these 2 tiles, the ones that trigger Gilgamesh, are event tiles, so what we want to do is only walk over 1 of them, so stick on the bottom row and then keep going to the left. And okay, 6 steps on this room. I think this erases an encounter on the overworld, something like that, because you didn't need to cross the floor. And when you reach this floor, you just want to press left, because this cutscene sets you a tile up automatically, and if you go in the middle of the room as you enter, then you will be in between these columns and you will have to skip over them. So just pressing left, keep pressing left until you touch the wall, and we can get out of here. There is nothing left to do on Exodus Castle. Okay. For the overworld, you might want to pause more frequently to dodge encounters. At this point, encounters do get fairly dangerous, so you need to watch out. And in the middle of this marsh, you want to do a half step to the left. So let's get that down, and that's it. We can enter a big bridge. Music, great, awesome! Okay, here on the main structure of the bridge, we want to press left and go up into the first mandatory encounter. You want to hold A, because Giltos is on memory cursor and Faris is the fastest party member here. Bars has to get the AP on this battle as a chemist for the mixed command. It's part of his AP route. And Big Bridge has a ton of event tiles that deactivate or reactivate depending on how many encounters you already did, but we can walk in a specific way to avoid every single event besides the first one that is mandatory. So we go up until this division on the center of the bridge, go right, and then keep going up until the central chamber. And this is where you want to do the switch to Samurai for bards. Also, you want the entire party on back row, because at this point we start tanking out the physical damage again, so we need to be on the back to survive enemies. And that's it for the setup. We could do healing, but it really doesn't matter. We will waste more time from the job switching than from healing mid-battle the need arises. So for the first round we want to hold A, so that Faris and Lena toss a chunk of money at Gilgamesh, pardon me, and if you are below 343 health on one of your party members, you want to heal up. The reason for this is that Gilgamesh can use Golden Punch on his second round and it deals exactly that much damage, so you need to survive it to ensure that we can perform the next phase of the battle properly. So here you just want to wait out the ATBs to recharge, so that we have a lot of Guild tosses queued up when we attack again, because when you Guild toss once again, Gilgamesh falls into his phase transition where he casts his dialogue and casts a bunch of buffs, and he gets very, very dangerous, and we have to make sure we can kill him right now. So during this sequence, you also want to do inventory management, particularly for the Phoenix Down, High Potions, and Dark Matters. These are the 3 key items, because these are the things we interact the most with, but I also told you to set up the speed drinks, but it's not that big of a deal. So this is the major part of the inventory management. You just have Phoenix Downs on the first slot because we spam them very often, High Potions for quick healing, and the Dark Matters to mix when we reach the big boat, because we have the time for it on the during Gilgamesh's dialogue. And use a couple more Guild tosses, and that's it. So the only trick to this battle is ensuring that your ATBs recharge before the phase transition, so that even if people die, it won't affect the outcome of the battle, because you will always have a couple of Guild tosses queued up afterwards. And that's it. No, it doesn't matter if people die, because Gilgamesh doesn't give AP, so it's a race to the finish. Just make sure to kill Gilgamesh as soon as the phase transition happens. And now we go to the left, then one tile before the division right here, you press right, touch the next wall, go up a couple tiles, press left to the center, and then keep going up. And that skips all the other encounters left on Big Bridge. We have a little chat with Kara. And now we're tossed into the Grosciana continent. Reaching this place, we want to be at 169 total steps.